Today we will learn the essentials for purifying the mind commented by Khenpo Yeshe Phuntsok. It provides the most effective methods to overcome self-grasping and ego, helping us transcend samsara. What is the use of saying that all phenomena are empty? Can it subdue your ego? Not necessarily, as it may not be so direct or effective. First, let's explain the title. Essentials for Purifying the Mind, the Wheel of Specific Analytical Meditation. Purifying the mind means eliminating the defilements in our minds. Essentials means this text encompasses the essential teachings from various scriptures. As stated in the verse, practicing this text is equivalent to practicing the essence of billions of scriptures. The wheel of specific analytical meditation means examining and reflecting on these four topics from various perspectives. Wheel metaphorically represents continuous analytical meditation. Our sixth consciousness can only perceive one object at a time. Hence, when meditating on impurity, impermanence, suffering, and non-self, we focus on one aspect at a time. By examining and analyzing different aspects and then integrating them, we can clearly understand the nature of the five aggregates. The nature in this context doesn't refer to the inherent nature we often mention. Instead, it refers to the characteristics of the five aggregates. Of course, these characteristics are also relative and impermanent. They are relatively stable, not constant. Once we clearly understand the nature of the five aggregates, we can deal with afflictions such as greed. Homage to Manjushri. Mipham Rinpoche prayed to Manjushri for blessings in composing this treatise. Before delving into the actual practice, he first presented the core teaching. Based on that, he then elaborated on four meditation methods. Explaining the core teachings, all sufferings in the threefold world arise from mental afflictions. Wrong attitudes are the cause of afflictions, while correct attitudes can eliminate them. The threefold world refers to beings in the three realms of existence: the desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm. All sufferings such as birth, aging, illness, and death don't arise without a cause, nor are they imposed by others. Instead, they stem from one's mental afflictions. Afflictions are not caused by others, nor do they arise from oneself, as there is no self, and the five aggregates cannot give rise to afflictions. The primary cause of afflictions is mistaken attitudes, while correct thinking mode can eliminate wrong attitudes. According to Abhidharma Kosha, the causes and conditions for the arising of afflictions are dormant afflictions, objects that trigger afflictions, and wrong attitudes. Dormant afflictions refer to the seeds of afflictions. The Yogacara, Bhumi, also mentions factors such as negative influence, false teaching, and repetition. Among these factors, mistaken attitude is the most significant. Mistaken attitudes refer to thoughts that deviate from the truth. The five aggregates are, by nature, multiple, impure, impermanent, characterized by suffering, and devoid of self. However, due to ignorance, ordinary beings perceive them as singular, pure, pleasurable, and having a self. These misconceptions are what we call mistaken attitudes, the root of samsara. As stated in the Uttaratantra Shastra, the improper mode of thinking gives rise to karma and afflictions. From the waters of karma and afflictions arise the aggregates, sense bases, and elements, arising and disintegrating just as everything begins and ends. Just as water is supported by air, the air of inappropriate thinking can swiftly fuel defiled karma and afflictions like greed. Just as the earth is sustained by water, the waters of karma and afflictions give rise to the defiled five aggregates, 18 sense elements, and 12 sense bases. Hence, all sentient beings driven by the root cause, improper attitudes, along with conceptual minds and the three defilements, remain trapped in the endless cycle of reincarnation. It is clearly explained that driven by our conceptual minds and the root cause, improper thinking, we remain trapped in the cyclic existence. As ordinary beings, we cannot trust ourselves because we are bound by afflictions and samsaric thoughts. As long as you are an ordinary being, you have samsaric thoughts. These thoughts, fueled by the three defilements, continuously give rise to afflictions. As a result, we lose mindfulness. Even those who have attained the first stage of awakening may still have many conceptual thoughts in daily life. The Buddha said that only at the stage of no more learning can one trust oneself. Before that, we should rely on the teachings of enlightened beings rather than trusting ourselves. However, we instinctively trust ourselves, using our knowledge and views to judge things and practice the dharma. If we follow our karmic habits and thoughts, we won't attain spiritual accomplishments. Therefore, we should make a firm determination to break free from samsaric thoughts. Although we cannot completely eradicate these thoughts for now, we should resolve from now on, I shall no longer follow or trust my samsaric thoughts. Instead, I shall solely follow the Buddha's teachings. Besides eliminating afflictions, we should completely abandon and replace our samsaric thoughts and views, leaving no trace behind. For example, if you replace only part of the toxic blood in your body, the fresh blood will mix with the old blood and remain toxic. You must replace it all. Similarly, if a computer is overwhelmed with viruses, it is hard to clean it thoroughly. The best solution is to format it. Therefore, the best way to achieve spiritual progress is to empty yourself and start anew. While you may feel reluctant to let go of your karmic habits and views, you must recognize them as toxic and remove them. It's hard to clean a computer of viruses. Only experts can clean viruses bit by bit, which is slow. It's better to take the simplest approach, delete everything and start fresh, fast and effective. Likewise, breaking free from samsaric thoughts and beginning anew is a swift way to spiritual transformation. In particular, those who have received full ordination are like starting a new life. How can you still have mental afflictions? If you still harbor various secular thoughts, what kind of bodhisattva are you? If you have received the monastic precepts and bodhisattva vows, but still harbor samsaric thoughts, it's not right. Receiving monastic precepts is significant. After that, one must start anew, not merely looking like a bodhisattva, monk or nun, but combating and gradually eliminating samsaric thoughts. In other words, we must treat afflictions as our enemies. Previously, afflictions were our dearest companions, and we treated them well every day. Now, we must see them as our greatest enemies and resist them. We can no longer be close to them. We used to be very close to afflictions. They lived in our minds, influencing us constantly. So, how can we eliminate mistaken attitudes? The method is to cultivate the appropriate mode of thinking, directing our minds to the true nature of the five aggregates. By meditating on reality as it truly is, we can uproot the cycle of reincarnation